Hey, this is Loam with Single Track Skills. I'm finally on a mullet bike. Mixed wheel size, 29 in the front, 27.5 in the rear. To be honest with you, I have been resistant to make this change. I have been loving the full 29er. But the reason why I went ahead and experimented and made the change is because in some of the technical sections of trails, I have actually kind of buzzed my butt with that 29er rear wheel, and it kind of made me a little nervous because if my butt were to catch that rear wheel hard and it would throw me into the seat stays, I don't even want to imagine how bad of a crash it could be. So I decided to make the switch, and what I did was I actually bought a Factor rear wheel from Factor. They make really good carbon rims and hubs, and I took my relay and I made the adjustments that the bike calls for in terms of changing the bottom bracket to slap that 27.5 on there, and I really like it. I also have a Heckler, Santa Cruz Heckler SL. It's brand new. I've only ridden it a couple times, so now I'm full mixed wheel size, full mullet with my e-bikes. Because both Santa Cruz and Transition have been good to me in my small business, I own both the Transition Relay and the Santa Cruz Heckler SL. They are both second generation e-bikes. They're lighter than the first generation counterparts, and I've learned that I really do like these lighter e-bikes. For several reasons. One is with the first generation e-bike, they're a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed the first generation e-bike, but I was having a hard time at 50 plus pounds lifting that thing up over onto a tailgate. My shoulders just couldn't quite do it. It was a chore, and it's kind of embarrassing to ask a buddy to help you lift your own bike into a truck. The other reason why I like this second generation e-bike, the lighter ones, which they're right around 40 pounds, I guess, with the battery, a little bit lighter than that without the battery, is that they're a little bit more playful than the first generation. Because they're lighter, you can jib on them a little bit more, and they're a little bit more playful. And also with that mixed wheel size, that makes that nice as well. The last reason why I like these lighter, less powerful e-bikes is because you get a little bit more of a workout. Now, I know those of you who own muscle bikes and swear by them, you kind of laugh when I say getting a workout on an e-bike, and I totally accept that and agree with that. I'm not nearly as good a shape now that I ride an e-bike all the time as I was before, but I will say that if you're on the e-bike craze, then these lighter e-bikes you do get a little bit more of a workout with them. Now let's do the shootout between the Transition Relay and the Santa Cruz Heckler SL. These are probably the two most popular lighter e-bikes out there right now. The Transition Relay just won an award with, I believe, Loam. They had a shootout of all of the light e-bikes, and it won the overall. So that's pretty good. The Santa Cruz Heckler, I don't think was tested during that shootout because it just now has come out for the public. But here's my takeaway on this. Now, it's like splitting hairs between these two bikes. They're both awesome bikes, and you won't make a bad choice with either one of these bikes. But what I found is, from my experience, I bought the full 29er relay because that was all that was available whenever I was looking for the lighter second generation e-bike. That was all that was available from Transition. Since then, they have come out with the Pacific Northwest build, the PNW build, which is a mixed wheel size already, so you're getting that stock. I changed my full 29er to where it would be, become a mullet or a mixed wheel size bike. But if I were to do it all over again, and I would definitely get that, because you're going to get also more travel. So you're going to get 170 in the front, 170 in the rear with a mixed wheel size. And that is a perfect bike if you're wanting to do bigger lines. So think like steep chutes, some of the harder lines at Squamish in British Columbia, or some of the steeper trails at Windrock Bike Park. That's the kind of bike you're going to want. If you've got a local trail where there's some big lines that you really want to tackle, that's the bike you want. But for most of the trails out there, I think the Santa Cruz Heckler SL, it will be more playful, will be more fun. It just feels a little bit more like the original 5010 that Santa Cruz put out, which was obviously a muscle bike, is super playful bike. And it's a little bit easier to manual. It is 160 in the front, 150 in the rear. So most of the trails out there, that's going to be a nice bike for most of the trails out. The Relay PNW for gnarlier lines, bigger jumps, bigger drops. Now, I do have to say that in the hands of a good rider can make both of those bikes do what they need to do on the trails, for sure. I've ridden some really steep chutes on the Heckler and was fine. I've also ridden easier trails on the Relay, and it's still fun, no doubt. So we're splitting hairs. Trying to decide what's better, a Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord. I mean, you're not going to go wrong with either one of them. So they're great bikes, but they do favor one type of trail or one type of feature over another. They're going to be more fun on one type of a feature, as opposed to another. Now, the thing I get asked the most about these two bikes is, what about battery life? I run both bikes have the same operating system. They have the same battery. It's all the same. The Relay is nice because you can pull the battery out easily and charge it, and you can eventually probably buy a backup battery. So that's one nice thing about the Relay, whereas the Heckler has the battery that's inside it. I haven't even taken the battery out. Obviously you can take it out, but it's not nearly as, you're not able to do it nearly as easily as you can with the Transition, because it's not made to do that. But I'm asked a lot about battery life. How long will it last on a trail ride? Have you ever had trouble with it running out? And I have never had trouble with it running out. Never. Now, I'm not out there 8-9 hours. I don't have some crazy long ride. I'm out there, 3-4 hours. I do run it on its turbo setting. The turbo setting on these lighter weight e-bikes is more like the trail setting on a regular full power e-bike. So when you hear turbo, don't think the same as a regular e-bike, because the turbo on a regular e-bike, first generation, will almost run out from underneath you. This is more like the trail setting, but it is the setting that draws the most juice. And even though I run it on that all the time and enjoy it, I have never had a problem with running out of the battery. I think I can probably do 15 laps at my local jump park. Ride Birmingham is my local jump park, and it just does just fine. But if you're going to spend a lot more time out there in the woods, longer rides, then you may want to run it in one of the two settings below that, which is just fine to get you to the top. No worries. But I wouldn't let that concern about battery life be what keeps you from getting in on either one of these bikes. It was my concern, to be honest, before I got it on these bikes and actually we're riding them week to week, day to day. So yeah, I'd put that concern, put it to the side. The only case that I would think that a full powered e-bike would be the way to go would be if you are planning on towing kids to the top of the mountain, or family members or buddies or whatever. That full powered e-bike definitely is an easier way to go. You can click that thing into turbo and tow them to the top of the mountain. It doesn't burn the battery down as much as it would on these lighter e-bikes, and it would just be more fun. So that's the only little caveat that I would say where you may want to consider a full powered e-bike. And the other reason that you may want one is that it is less work and it's a lot of fun in turbo. It's just fun. So if you don't want to work quite as hard and you want to have fun and go even faster, then the full powered first generation e-bikes are the way to go. And this is neat because most of us out there, we don't do this for a living. We're not like professional athletes. I know I'm not a professional athlete. Whenever I'm not teaching skills, when I'm not working, teaching others how to ride, I'm out just having fun. And so it's all about having fun for me. So if I have more fun on one type of bike, hey, it's a free country as opposed to another. So that's the other little thing I would say. The full powered e-bikes are not a bad idea. They just fit a different niche or different goals for sure. If you are interested in purchasing either one of these bikes, I would ask that you seriously consider purchasing them from 2 different local businesses that have really helped my small business. Not only they have helped my small business, they have also been so helpful for jump and drop progression in my community. So many people in my community over the years have said, hey, I want to learn how to jump safely. I want jump progression. I want to learn how to hit drops safely, but there's no place to do that. And Ride Birmingham has really good jump and drop progression. And I've been teaching out there for, I guess, almost 9 months now or so. And so if you buy a transition, buy through them because it supports them. And they've gone out there to provide us a place to get better. And this is a good way to support them. Don't go online and just buy it. Please support a local business. If you decide you want to go with the Santa Cruz Heckler SL, please consider getting it from Cahaba Cycles in the Birmingham area. They've been so good to me, supporting my small business, and also they've been really good to Ride Birmingham. So definitely consider that. Please don't just go out there and buy one off the internet. It's you may save some bucks, but if you do have a problem with the motor, I do have to say that you'll be glad you bought it from a local shop because they'll stand behind you. They'll go to bat for you. I did have a problem with a e-bike a while back, and it was a extensive problem with the motor, and Cahaba Cycles came through and they were on board with the warranty. They really went to bat, and I'm so glad that wasn't just left in my lap. Now, it wasn't with the Relay and it wasn't with the Heckler. I need to say that. It was with another brand, and that's water under the bridge, but they were there to help me. And Ride Birmingham has been good about that same thing, working out some bugs on some other issues. So definitely consider buying from either one of those 2 shops. That'd be awesome. I'd appreciate it.